We're on in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, and welcome to Channel 69 Action News. I'm your co-host, Yolanda Squat Pump.
And I'm Lataniana Bovanesri Qualquinice.
Our top story today is that at a Russian Soviet Union nuclear power plant in Chernobyl.
15 days ago, the nuclear power plant exploded, leaving 2 dead and an unknown amount injured at this time. The power plant uses plutonium and graphite to power its reactor.
The power plant used plutonium that splits into helium and uranium by alpha decay because it has to add up to a 239 mass and 94 atomic number. When the plutonium splits, it shoots extra neutrons out that split other plutonium atoms, causing a reaction. Graphite is just used to slow the reaction.
After the explosion, the people were hit with a high dose of radiation. According to science, radiation can actually supposedly affect cells in 2 ways. It can directly strike a person's DNA, ionizing it and damaging it.
Radiation also ionizes the water molecules in your body, producing free radicals that attack the DNA.
There are over 100 different reactants left in the aftermath of the blast, but the most prominent being plutonium, iodine, strontium, and cesium. These are the most radioactive, and their half-lives are also the longest of the reactants, causing them to stay in the air longer. Now, Yolanda, what is the difference in radiation of the beginning of the blast and now in the aftermath?
Well, that's a great question, Lataniana Bovanesri Qualquinice. Initial radiation is radiation that arrives during the first minute or so of a nuclear fallout, and it's mostly made up of gamma radiation and neutron radiation. Residual radiation, which is where Chernobyl is at now, comes from weapon debris, fission products, and in this case, radiated soil.
Wow, you know what, Yolanda? I bet it sucked to be a Soviet carrot farmer right about now.
It sure is. Speaking of the Cold War, we actually have a reporter on the scene right now, Jim Jamerson. Hey Jim, can you hear us?
Oh, hi Yolanda. How's everything on your end?
Yeah, is everything okay over there?
Yeah, and everything's great here. No radiation at all, actually, turns out. Yeah.
Oh, well, while you're on air, can we ask you a couple questions about the apparent supposed effects if Chernobyl, were to explode?
Well, at a high radiation, a human cell can be attacked enough that it just dies, causing a person to die as well. Wow. With lower doses, the cell can possibly repair itself, but it will most likely cause the cell to die.
Of course. So Jim, what amount of radiation exposure would a person have to have in order to experience a diminished quality in life?
Well, type and probability of the effects will rely entirely on the amount of radiation received. Health problems would more likely be cancer or some sort of mutation which can be passed down to offspring. So you don't want it.
Now Jim, how far could radiation travel, and is there any possible way to block it?
I'll block it with your mom.
Alpha particles can travel only 1 inch in the air, while beta particles can travel a few feet. Alpha particles can be blocked by nearly anything, and beta particles can be blocked by anything past 1 inch of plastic. So stay inside, folks.
And speaking of alpha and beta particles, would you be able to tell us about the process of alpha and beta decay?
No, actually. I'm clueless, but my buddy Adam here can. Bring it on in, bud.
Well, Jim, in alpha decay, the nucleus loses 2 protons. In beta decay, however, the nucleus either gains or loses a single proton. Both processes change the identity of the atom that is in decay.
Now, we understand that cancer is caused by exposure to radiation, but exactly why is that, Mr. Adamson?
Well, radiation can emit enough energy to damage our DNA by one of 3 ways. Changing the base's chemical structures, breaking the sugar phosphate backbone, or breaking the hydrogen bonds that connect the base pairs.
All right, thanks Jim and Adam. Stay safe out there.
Yes, sir.
But I don't see why we would be, considering there's no radiation at all.
I'm sure. Wow, what a devastating tragedy that happened to the people of Chernobyl. We can only hope that we'll be able to solve problems like this in the future regarding nuclear energy.
Yeah, I guess you could say they really blew it this time.
What is wrong with you? People died. Why would you joke about that?
Why don't you joke about your face?
Oh,